Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into some seriously cool tech. Stuff that really sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
All right, let's just jump right into it. What if I told you that you could achieve hospital-grade sterilization with nothing more than the air in this room and a regular electrical outlet? Yeah, no chemicals, no water, no crazy high temperatures. It sounds totally impossible, doesn't it? Well, stick around because we're about to show you exactly how it works.
So, can you really sterilize with just air? Well, the answer is a big, loud yes. And this isn't just some theory, okay? It's a real technology, and it's called Air Plasma Sterilization. The secret to how it all works, well, it starts with inputs that are almost unbelievably simple. Seriously, that's the whole recipe. The entire process uses just the air in the room and a little bit of electricity. That is it. You're not loading any chemical cartridges, you're not hooking up any special water lines, there are no toxic materials to deal with. The system literally creates its sterilizing power right out of thin air. Okay, so how is that even possible? How do you turn air into a sterilant? Well, the secret, the real magic here, is harnessing a fundamental state of matter that we don't always think about. We all learned about solids, liquids, and gases in school, right? But the key to this whole thing is the fourth state of matter, plasma. So what in the world is plasma? Well, to put it simply, it's what happens when you supercharge a gas. Think about it. You take regular air, which is mostly nitrogen and oxygen, and you pump it full of energy. A lot of energy. You basically zap it until it becomes this super energized cloud of charged particles. You've seen plasma before. It's what stars are made of. It's what lightning is made of. And this tech has figured out how to bottle that lightning, so to speak, right inside a small chamber. Now, this is a really important point, so let's clear something up. You might have heard the term gas plasma before in sterilization, but you're probably thinking of systems that use vaporized hydrogen peroxide. That is a totally different thing. In those machines, the plasma is kind of a sidekick. It just helps break down the chemicals at the end. But with air plasma sterilization, oh no. The plasma is the star of the show. It's not a helper. It is the thing that generates the sterilant, and it's doing it with nothing but air and electricity. All right, so we've got our controlled lightning storm in a box, we've made plasma, but how does this super energized air actually kill something like a superbug? Let's zoom in and see the microscopic takedown. The weapon here is something called an oxidative assault, and that sounds intense because it is. The plasma creates this cloud of super reactive particles that just launch an all-out, relentless attack on any microbe they find. It's not like a single shot from a sniper rifle. No, think of it more like a microscopic hurricane that just rips the microbes apart from the outside in. And this is what that hurricane is made of. It's what we call a reactive species cocktail. The plasma literally creates this potent mix of attackers from the air. You've got things like ozone, nitrogen dioxide, hydroxyl radicals. All of these molecules are incredibly unstable. They're just itching to react with something, and their favorite targets are the cell walls of bacteria and spores. They just want to tear them apart. And I know that sounds pretty dramatic, but hey, don't take my word for it. This quote comes right from the research, describing what scientists saw under an electron microscope. Get this. They saw mechanical damage to the cell structure, with the cell contents visibly leaking out. Wow, you can't get much more definitive than that. The cells are literally spilling their guts.
And here's the visual proof. On the left, you're looking at a healthy MRSA bacterium. This is one of those nasty, antibiotic-resistant superbugs. But then, look at the right. That's what it looks like after the plasma is done with it. It's just devastated. You can literally see that the cell wall has been busted open and all its insides are leaking out. The assault was a complete success.
And it's not just MRSA. Here's the same story with E. coli. On the left, you've got a perfectly intact cell. On the right, total chaos, complete structural failure. This visual evidence is just undeniable. It shows a physical, total annihilation of the threat. This stuff isn't theory, people. It is proven to be devastatingly effective. Okay, so the science is clearly powerful. It's brutal, even. But how do you take that raw power and turn it into a safe, reliable, and totally automated process that you can use every day? Well, it actually breaks down into just 3 really simple steps. First up is preconditioning. This is where the machine basically sets the stage. It gets the air inside the chamber just right, the perfect temperature, pressure, and humidity. This is all about making sure the results are rock solid and repeatable, every single time. Then, step 2, sterilizing. This is the main event. The plasma field is turned on, the air is converted into that sterilant gas cocktail, and it achieves a sterility level of 1 in a million. And finally, and this is super important, step 3 is ventilating. Once the job is done, all those reactive gases are passed through a special catalyst that safely converts them right back into plain old breathable air, so nothing harmful comes out. So yeah, the science is really cool, and the process is super smart. But what does all of this actually mean for, say, a real-world veterinary clinic or hospital? Why should you care? Well, let's get into the reasons why this is a total game changer. First off, let's talk about heat, or rather the lack of it. This entire process runs at about 40 degrees Celsius. That's just 104 Fahrenheit, basically a warm summer day. That is incredibly low for sterilization. And what that means is you can finally sterilize all that expensive, delicate equipment, things with sensitive electronics, cameras, plastics, without ever worrying about melting or damaging them.
Next up, money. Let's talk cost. Because you're not buying chemicals, you're just using air and a bit of electricity, the cost for a full sterilization cycle is somewhere between $4 and $10. That is a tiny fraction of what older chemical-based methods can run you. We're talking major savings.
And this one is huge. You know how autoclaves use intense, high-pressure steam, or how some systems pull a deep, powerful vacuum? Well, this process doesn't do any of that. It just works at regular, normal atmospheric pressure. It's so gentle. That means there's zero risk of crushing, warping, or damaging your most delicate instruments. All right, let's just do a quick fire round of all the benefits. I call this the no and low advantage. Ready? There are no chemical consumables to buy. There are no harmful byproducts to vent. There are no special installation costs. You just plug it into the wall. It has low maintenance needs, and it has low power requirements. It's basically a checklist of everything you'd want in a modern sterilizer. Okay, so I said no chemical consumables, but there is one thing you replace, and that's the little plasma sheet that actually creates the plasma. But even this is designed to be super easy. It's tough, it lasts a long time, it has an indefinite shelf life, so you can buy a bunch and not worry about them expiring. And there are no special rules for throwing it away. It's as simple as it gets.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you've got this incredibly elegant science, you've got the undeniable proof that it works, and you have all these safety and efficiency benefits. It really makes you wonder, right? Is this what the future of sterilization looks like? A future where our greatest weapon against the toughest superbugs isn't some harsh, complicated chemical, but is literally created from the air all around us? Pretty amazing stuff to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.